Hi everyone, welcome to the second half of the Western Sydney University Vietnam Campus Virtual Open Day, where we will talk about two postgraduate programs that are currently and will offer at our Vietnam campus. So the first session will be school business with the Master of Business Administration's MBA program. So I myself was an MBA student of Western and had benefited a lot from the knowledge that I learned from the school business. So we commenced the MBA program in Vietnam campus since 2018, and the number of students have grown rapidly over time. So we're currently having 230 students doing the MBA program there. So if you have any questions about the program, please put them in the Q&A tab at the bottom of the screen, and we'll answer them after the presentation of the guest speaker. So now I will pass to Dr. Laura Jackson, who is the Director of Academic Programs of School Business, to give more information about the MBA program at Western. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Jenna. Thank you so much. So hello, everybody. It's great to be here. And a very warm welcome to my presentation. And I hope one day to see you in our Sydney Graduate School of Management in Western Sydney. I'm sure you've heard already, but you know we had some great news this year. First of all, the university has been ranked #1 in the world by Times Higher Education in terms of its commitment to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And we're very, very proud of that. And when you come to join our classes, you will find that many of the classes are now focused very much on looking at sustainable business models and ways of actually helping us to manage our businesses going forward to make sure that they are sustainable for the future. The other really excellent news is that the School of Business has been awarded AACSB accreditation. And you know this is a long-standing, very prestigious international accreditation. In fact, less than 6% of business schools around the world actually have this. And so it means that when you study with us, that you can be incredibly proud of being part of a very prestigious group. And we're very keen to have you join us. What I might do is just share with you a little bit of information about how we go about our teaching. Jenna can chime in too if she wants to, having experienced it for herself. And I guess what we really need to think about these days is how our business courses are going to be relevant to propel you forward to a successful career in this post-COVID world that we have. And so all of the things that we are teaching at the Sydney Graduate School are very relevant to today and tomorrow, and very timely in helping to provide students with all of the frameworks, the information, the experiences that they need so that they can move into the business world very confidently and in a very timely way. We balance theory and real world application. And Jenna, did you experience the internship program when you were with us?
Yeah, I did. So
yes,
I received an internship at News Corp Australia. So I think our school business has many industry partners that
we do
a lot for the students.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to move us on. I'm just giving you an example of one of our students who's a recent graduate, and just tell you a little bit about her career path. This is Sona Iqbal. She came to us as an international student and first of all did a Master of Professional Accounting. But before that, she'd also done with us a Master of Applied Finance. And after doing that, she was able to do a really interesting business research project, setting up a microcredit firm in India, which has been very successful. And as she said, this is one of her passionate projects, and she had a vision for creating a platform for peer-to-peer lending called the Wishing Well. The university, the School of Business was able to support her in helping her to get that together at the end of her study program. Now Sona is actually working in Sydney. She's just been appointed a senior advisor at the Sydney Stock Exchange. And so very lovely story of Sona's journey from the time she joined us until now. And there's so many opportunities for our graduate students. So this is another example. This is Jeremiah. He did our MBA specializing in logistics and supply chain. And this is such an important area at the moment. So many jobs open for people with these skills because of all of the issues since COVID with international supply chain challenges. When Jeremiah graduated, he went to work at Linfox, and he'd first been introduced to Linfox through his internship program. So he worked there as an intern, and I actually remember going to the Linfox warehouse where he was working, which is very close to the university, and meeting his supervisor, who is right there. He's the head of strategy for Linfox. So he was working with very senior people, getting some wonderful experience. I was also lucky to be able to attend his presentation at the end of his internship, which is something that all of our students do. And he presented to the board of Linfox, and he provided a solution for a very complex logistics and supply chain problem that they had been having, which they've since adopted, and then they offered him a full-time job. So again, wonderful story. And it's the linking of our theory and the real world practice, and making certain that what we're teaching is very relevant and up to date to address the real world issues and problems that we're facing in business. And SGSM, Sydney Graduate School, has got so many partners, as Jenna mentioned to you before, where you can have a wonderful experience depending on what specialization you choose to do in your MBA. You'll then have an opportunity to either do an internship or a business project that's related to that. And every single quarter, and we teach in our 4 10-week quarters, we have senior people from these organisations and from others approaching us and asking us now if we have some students who would like to come and do an internship with them. So business administration is one of our key courses. I guess today you're not so interested, Jenna, in our business analytics, but this is also an opportunity. I think the thing that I really wanted to focus on was, once you've started your MBA, and whether you start that in Vietnam or you come to Australia to do it, the second half of it, you have an opportunity to do a specialisation. And that can be in the areas that I've got listed here: management, marketing, logistics and supply chain, like Jeremiah that I just told you about, sustainable business, which is something that Professor Yu Chen Lan is close to his heart, and he teaches in that program for us, always has a full class. We have innovation and entrepreneurship as another option. Property investment and development is also something that's very popular. Human resource management, finance and investment, information communication technology, and business analytics as a specialization. And this is becoming a rapidly growing area because we have so much data available to us. organizations are looking for people with the skills to really help analyze and make sense of all the data that they have. And so this is becoming one of our most popular specializations. These are some of our other courses, but I think today we're focusing on the MBA, so I won't bother too much with them. But I'm very happy to take any questions and answer them. Thanks, Jenna.
No worries. Thank you so much, Dr. Laura Jackson. It was a very it was a very informative sessions about the program. So now we move on to the Q&A sessions to answer questions from the audience. So I can see here we have one question. So from Anonymous. So what is the process to get the internship for the MBA course?
Okay, good question. So when you're doing your studies, we tell you right at the very beginning that you need to have a credit average. It's a grade point average of 4.5 or better by the time you reach the end of the third quarter or fourth quarter of your program. Once you have finished all of the foundation and the course subjects and you've started to do some of the specialized subjects, you'll get an email from us to say, would you like to put in an expression of interest for an internship? The reason that we do this is that some people don't want one. They'd rather, because they're already working, they want to do something with their own company. But it's also very good for our students to articulate exactly the kind of internship that they're looking for. Then they come to an interview with myself and some of my colleagues, and we help the students to organise their resumes. We find out exactly the kinds of things they would like to be doing, and then we act like matchmakers. Because we've got so many corporate partners who are interested in offering internships, we try and match up the student with the things that they're wanting to do with an appropriate industry partner. Once that happens, the student can have an interview with that particular organisation, and then mostly they will get an offer of an internship. Once that happens, we take care of all of the insurances. We support the students all the way through. They would have an academic supervisor. So that's one-on-one support over the 2 quarters, 20 weeks that they'd be doing their internship.
Thank you, Laurel. I think we have another question. Some students, when they register for the sessions, they send in questions. So there's one student asked, can I study the stage 1 or, studies the MBA course in Vietnam and then come to Australia to do an internship?
Yes, you can do that. But we love you to come so that some of the specialization subjects that you would need to do before you do your internship, you would do those in Australia as well.
Okay, so yeah, I do know that when you come to Australia to do internship, it's probably for a 6-month period because the internship have 20 credit points, so probably you need to register into.
And you'd be doing other subjects at the same time.
Yeah, so I think it is best, and I think a lot of our students from Vietnam campus, they choose to do that, like they come for maybe a year or 9 months to come to Australia.
Yep.
And I think it will be better.
Yes.
And then we have another question from students. They ask, can I still do an MBA program if I don't have any background in business?
Of course you can. When I first did my MBA, which was a long time ago now, I had absolutely no experience in business. I'd come from a different area altogether. And the MBA that we have assumes that all of our students have got different kinds of backgrounds. They come from all over the place with very different undergraduate degrees and experiences. And so we start from the beginning, and we don't assume that that you know anything about business at all.
Yeah, and another question is that like what kind of job opportunities or what areas the student can work or graduate can work after they, study the MBA course?
Yeah, there are so many opportunities. I've just given you a couple of examples. So depending on the specialization that you do in your MBA, particularly if you get an opportunity for internship, that gives you experience in Australia in the area that you're interested in. At the moment, so many opportunities for jobs in Australia because our unemployment rate is the lowest it's ever been. Our students have been offered more work while they're studying than they used to be able to do, so the hours have changed. And we find that our students are sought after once they've finished their MBA in areas logistics and supply chain, business analytics, the marketing, management. So many, many opportunities.
Yeah, that's great. I think because with MBA, if students study in Vietnam, they will have a little bit like limited specializations they can choose. But if they, move to study in Australia, they will have more majors, specializations to choose.
Yep.
Yeah, and during your sharings, I know that you say that school business, SGSM, has a really wide range or, industry partners. So how the school business help the students, connect with those industry partners beside internship?
During the for internship.
Yeah. Beside internship.
Yeah, beside internship. We bring those partners into the classroom. So, for example, this quarter, I'm teaching one of our introductory subjects in the MBA, Integrated Business Experience 1. Next week, we have the CEO of a local company coming to tell us all about how he took over the company when their share price was really in the doldrums. And over the last 6 years, even through COVID, he's been able to build that up. And he will spend about an hour and a half going through that in detail and sharing all of that knowledge with our students. This happens pretty much in every one of our subjects. So we have some wonderful corporate partners who are very happy to come and share knowledge. And of course, in the building, we have PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they often come and pop in, particularly to our accounting classes. So we have some really good relationships, and we feel it's very important for our students to have the opportunity to not just say hello to senior people from business areas, but to be able to ask questions and get some really in-depth understanding of how they're doing their business.
Yeah, that's why I remember a lot of my classes during my time study MBA, the lecturers would invite like industry partners, employers. I remember specifically the managers from News Corp Australia. So came to our class and helped us, gave us a presentations. And then after that, it's all about networking. We get a chance to talk to the employer, and then they present us opportunities that they have at their company. And I think that's why it's helped a lot. I give pretty good impressions to the managers. And then after that, I got the internship there. So
it's wonderful, Jenna.
Yeah, I think it's helped a lot. And definitely school business give out a lot of opportunities for students, and there's a lot there. So I think my advice as an MBA students for Vietnamese students or all the students is that they just just need to seek out for help. They need to ask because it's all there.
Very important.
Yeah,
I'm very happy, my colleagues too, very happy to answer any questions at all. You can put my email into the chat, and if anyone has any other questions, that they would like me to answer, I'm very happy to do that. You can always connect with us, and that's one of the best things about my job, I think, is that I have the opportunity to spend so much time with our students, supporting and helping them forward, and certainly will be available to answer any questions.
Yeah, and I think we have one more question here. So do I have to have working experience to apply for the MBA course?
No, you don't. No, you just have to have completed successfully an undergraduate degree. You don't have to have work experience. We'll take care of that. We'll provide you with opportunities to have that work experience while you're studying with us.
Yeah, no, that's great. And do you know if they have some experience, working experience, do they get any, advanced standing to shorten their course, or do they?
Yes.
Is there any other course for them to?
Yep. So if you have relevant business experience when you come to us, we would certainly consider advanced standing. We don't want you to be wasting your time doing things that you already know a lot about. So yes, that's a possibility, and that would shorten the course, and it would also affect how much you have to pay as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because with our students from Vietnam, they normally study 1.5 years. They can choose study 6 months in Vietnam and then transfer, complete their degree in Australia for like 1 year. So it's very flexible.
Yep.
So they can choose to do that. So yeah, I think we answer all the questions today. Thank you so much, Laurel, to participate in this virtual open day. And I hope,
Jenna.
No worries. I hope that your informations and then your answers help the student, inspire them to, seek out for help and apply to study at our Vietnam campus and come to Australia.
Yeah, I'm looking out for the ones who've just joined us from Vietnam, and very happy to meet with anyone thinking about it, to have more of an in-depth chat. So.
In the chat, I have put a link to the form. So if anyone, have more questions, or if you can think of any question later on, just fill the form, and then I will send the questions to you, Laura, to answer, and then I will just give the answer back to the attendees later.
Okay, thank you, Jenna.
No worries, and thank you so much for joining. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.